Good day. Welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okuru. The highly anticipated meeting between Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari and Minister of State for Petroleum Kachikwu happened Friday morning. They met at the presidential villa in Abuja to discuss the leaked memo from the minister to the president. Now, in that letter, Kachikwu accused the group managing director of the NNPC, Mike Baru, of corruption, insubordination and practices that could jeopardize the federal government's policies aimed at repositioning the petroleum industry. No details have emerged on what was discussed at the meeting, but it's expected the issues raised in the memo will take center stage. Kachikwu also declined to speak to journalists after the closed-door meeting held in Abuja. The Nigerian Army says it will begin Operation Crocodile Smile 2 in Port Harcourt, capital of Rivers State, on Saturday, October 7, 2017. It will last till October 28, 2017 as well. According to the Army, the exercise is intended to train troops in the restive southern region and reassure the public of the determination of security agencies to work in synergy. But the operation has been criticized by the Youth Council of the Ijaw, who are calling on President Buhari to order a withdrawal of the troops. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has confirmed yet another case of monkeypox in Bayelsa State, southern Nigeria. The first case was recorded September 22nd, and so far there are now 11 suspected cases of the disease. NCDC says all the patients are improving clinically and there have been no deaths so far. As of October 1st, 2017, 32 cases and close contact of the cases have been identified, advised appropriately, and are being monitored by the health agencies. A rapid response team from NCDC has been deployed to support the Bayelsa State government in the investigations and public health response to the outbreak. This will be the first outbreak of the disease in Nigeria. Organized labor in Nigeria on Friday joined the rest of the world in observing the World Day for Decent Work. As part of these activities, the Nigerian Labour Congress and its allies took to the streets of the nation's capital in Abuja. They visited major workplaces in the town to show its determination in ensuring exploitation and inhumane treatment meted out to Nigerian workers are put to an end. Now, one company visited South Africa's MTN in Abuja.
And I hope that this will send a very strong message to other employers of labor that exploit workers, despite the fact that they make profits upon profit, but they exploit workers, and workers never benefited from those process of exploitation.
Equity and fairness when it comes to gender issues. The conditions in which our members, both permanent and casual, work. All these give us concern, and as part of our activities for this year's World Day for Decent Work, we have marked MTN in my corner here that today is going to mark the end of casualization, resistance of unionization, and working under hard conditions.
I want to let us know that we have come here to stay. Yes. We have come here to stay, and the leadership of Congress is here to negotiate with America. If they are not around now, wherever they are, we need to call them to work. Because they must tell us why there is no union in this sector, in this organization, in this Malkama, and every outlet they have all over the country.
Of course, you are here for us. I'm a worker. Everybody here is a worker. Who doesn't want better condition? Raise your hand. We all do want it. So now that you're here, we would engage with your leadership, as he said, to understand. We've heard what you've said, and we'll also try to iron out or to clarify some of the things that were mentioned. We'll clarify that also, and he will come back to you with the proper situation. So thank you all very much.
Health Minister Isaac Adewale's face-off with the Executive Secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, Usman Yusuf, just got worse. The minister has indefinitely been extended the suspension of the NHIS official. That extension follows the submission of a report by the committee set up to probe allegations of misconduct by the NHIS boss. In a letter to the embattled NHIS chief dated October 5th, the health minister said the committee found Yusuf culpable in many areas of his performance. The report has now been forwarded to President Muhammad Buhari. The People's Democratic Party chieftain and former Deputy National Vice Chairman of the party, Bode George, has formally declared his ambition to run for the post of National Chairman of the party. The event on Friday took place in Lagos, southwest Nigeria. It was witnessed by party supporters who came out to show their support for Bode George's bid.
Bode George is eminently qualified to be the national chairman of our party. He has done it before, he will do it again, and will do it perfectly well.
I want to plead with all party members all over the federation that we should rally around Chief Bode George, because it will bring our party to victory come year 2019 in Jesus' name.
He has served with courage, with dignity, with firmness of spirit, like the great Ulysses of the mythic era. He had always been ever restless, true to himself, true to his nation, true to his duty.
He took Lagos State out of the woods and delivered House of Representatives and House of Assembly members. I don't want to say much about him because I know that what we need in PDP is a man who can stand up to the APC.
Members of the Umbrella Party who spoke at the event admitted it's time for the PDP to reorganize and re-strategize ahead of the 2019 general election. And the man they believe can lead the battle against the ruling APC is none other than Bode George. Others eyeing the Wadata House include former governor of Ogun State, Gbenga Daniels, the former governorship candidate of the party in Lagos, Jimmy Agbaje, Raymond Dokwesi, Senator Bode Olajumoke, as well as the outgoing National Vice Chairman Uche Secondus, former Minister of Education Professor Tunde Adeniro, and the former Minister of Sports and Youth Development, Professor Tawhid Adedoja.
It's not the time for untested characters who are merely on a junketing spree. This is not the time to take unnecessary risk. We must be very watchful, sincere, truthful to ourselves, and dedicated to a greater glory of our nation. We must now look beyond the narrow parochialism of personal benefit. We must look beyond the self-benightedness of selfish pursuit. Our party needs a rescue. Our party needs redemption. Our party deserves a balanced, experienced, tested, trusted, and faithful hand. Our party needs a team player and a unifying leadership. Our party needs stability. Our party needs a patriotic emblem, a standard bearer undetained by tribal fixity. Here and now, I am humbly making a stand and a declaration as a candidate for the position of the office of the national chairman of our party.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has fixed July 14, 2018 and September 22, 2018 for the governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun states respectively. INEC's National Commissioner and Chairman of the Voter Education and Publicity, Prince Solomon Shoyebi, disclosed this while reading the timetables and schedule of activities for the elections. He says the tenure of Ekiti incumbent governor would end on October 15, 2018, while the governor of Osun State would end his own tenure on November 28.
The first thing we want to know is that the tenure of Ekiti State governor will expire on the 15th day of October 2018. That's the expiry date. And the election, the date for election for Ekiti has been stated for 14th July 2018. The tenure of the Osun State Governor will expire on the 28th day of November 2018. That is even more than 1 year away when his tenure will expire. But the election has been slated for 22nd September 2018. In the case of Osun, they have 66 days to the end of tenure, and they have a notice of well over 11 months, at least to this election. The commencement of campaign by political parties in public again should start on the 24th June 2018. That is a day after we issued notice.
Human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, says senior lawyers know all corrupt judges and court officials. He says this information is freely circulated among lawyers here in Nigeria. Now, to solve this, Falana is asking the Nigerian Bar Association and the National Judicial Council to adopt means to remove corruption from the judiciary. A non-governmental organization in Nigeria, Hayat Foundation, is highlighting the need for President Muhammad Buhari to speedily assent to the National Disability Bill. Amina Bello, who is the founder of the foundation and wife of the Kogi State Governor, made the appeal at an event to mark the World Cerebral Day in Abuja. She says the plight of people with disabilities in the country is further aggravated due to lack of appropriate laws to ensure their full social integration in the society.
Nigeria and indeed African children living with special needs are sentenced to a life of obscurity and are at a disadvantaged position right from birth. Most families treat them as outcasts due to the societal stigmatization, and worst of all, they end up in confinement, thereby damaging their self-esteem, their ability to acquire relevant social skills and confidence. More significantly, as the world celebrates this day, we want to use this opportunity to passionately appeal to Mr. President, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, to kindly assent to the National Disability Bill by signing this bill into law. It will go a long way in addressing the numerous problems and challenges of people living with disability face and give them a sense of belonging and importance in the society. This law would definitely accord them the necessary dignity and respect they deserve.
Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Hamid Ali, says the service has seized 3,665 vehicles from 2015 till date, with a duty-paid value of over 13 billion naira. Giving a breakdown of the figures, he said 1,917 vehicles were seized with duty-paid value of 3,856 naira in 2015 and 1,483 vehicles were seized in 2016 with duty-paid value of 2 billion naira. On the challenges of customs in fighting smuggling, he said the service have lost 3 officers this year alone. Ali says under him, the customs service has been sanitized with few corrupt officers.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. 2 of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, so...
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no, you don't need to do this. We're only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Okay, which came up with this one now? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country. Corruption not in my country.
Yeah, relax. That is my brother and I want him out of this station now.
We have proceeded.
Okay. Can I just see the IPO of this case? IPO. How are you?
No, welcome, sir.
That is my brother and I want him out of this station now.
Do you know the offense he has committed, sir?
What do you guys want for the weekend? Okay, let me see your DPO.
This way, sir.
Oh, better. You don't know me here. That boy is my brother and I want you to assist me to free him.
The man found the gun, confessed to robbery.
Things like this happen. 200,000 naira for you.
Are you bribing me?
500,000 naira.
Robbery suspect?
1 million naira.
That is corruption. Not allowed in this division.
1 million.
Remember, police is your friend. Giving and taking bribe is wrong.
Corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Up next is Business News with Fidelia Aguncha.
Thank you, Thelma. Nigerian billionaire Aliko Dangote has withdrawn a bid to purchase South Africa's biggest cement producer, PPC. The South African firm on Friday confirmed Dangote Cement had ended its interest to tie up with it. Dangote's withdrawal sent PPC's shares crashing more than 13%. PPC shares fell 13.64% after the announcement before recovering some grounds to trade at 9.77% lower at 5.82. The Nigerian government has released 100 billion naira for the construction and rehabilitation of 25 major road projects in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. According to the government, the funds were raised through the issuance of sukuk bonds. Finance Minister Kemi Adeosun, who issued a check for the funds to the Minister of Power Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, said the roads will ease commuting and spur economic activities across the country. Sukuk bonds are Islamic bonds structured in such a way as to generate returns to investors without infringing Islamic law that prohibits interest. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has denied reports it colluded with some banks to prevent the remittance of some funds into the Treasury single account as directed by the federal government. In a statement by NNPC spokesperson Ndu Ugamadu, the corporation described the allegations as not only misplaced but equally misleading. Ugamadu said the corporation had earlier taken steps to inform the Presidency, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, and the Central Bank of Nigeria on the existence of the said account prior to the creation of the Federal Government Asset Recovery Account. Oil prices fell around 2% on Friday and were set to end Brent's longest multi-week rally in 16 months, following profit-taking and the return of oversupply concerns. Brent crude futures fell to $55.97 a barrel, while US crude was at $49.49 a barrel. Russia on Friday clarified remarks made by President Vladimir Putin about the oil market earlier this week, saying he did not propose extending a global oil output cut deal, but said he recognized it was a possible deal. Well, that's all on business. Stay tuned for more stories.
Corruption not in my country.
Yeah, relax. That is my brother and I want him out of this station now.
We have proceeded.
Okay. Can I just see the IPO of this case? IPO. How are you?
No, welcome, sir.
That is my brother and I want him out of this station now.
Do you know the offense he has committed, sir?
What do you guys want for the weekend? Okay, let me see your DPO.
This way, sir.
Oh, better. You don't know me here. That boy is my brother and I want you to assist me to free him.
The man found the gun, confessed to robbery.
Things like this happen. 200,000 naira for you.
Are you bribing me?
500,000 naira.
Robbery suspect?
1 million naira.
That is corruption. Not allowed in this division.
1 million.
Remember,
Police is your friend. Giving and taking bribe is wrong.
corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
Militia fighters in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo attacked a UN peacekeeping base on Friday. The attack triggered clashes that left 2 of the fighters dead and 2 peacekeepers slightly wounded. Friday's attack, in which 2 rebels were also wounded, was a rare frontal assault on UN forces charged with protecting civilians in Congo's east. Dozens of people in that region are exploited by armed groups who also steal their mineral resources and prey on local residents. President Joseph Kabila's refusal to step down at the end of his mandate last December has fueled further unrest in the country's east, where wars between 1996 till 2003 killed millions of people. Police in Kenya fired tear gas at opposition protesters in the capital of Nairobi. They had gathered for the second time this week to call for changes in the electoral system before the presidential election rerun. Last month, Kenya's Supreme Court voided the August 8 presidential election, citing irregularities, but did not criticize any specific individual at the election board. President Uhuru Kenyatta, who officially won by 1.4 million votes, only to have his victory annulled, has accused the Supreme Court of bringing the country close to judicial chaos. Moving on to sports stories, now Security Advisor to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, CP Garba Umar, has urged football fans to be orderly as they come to watch the team's World Cup qualifier against Zambia in Uyo on Saturday. Umar made the appeal when he spoke with journalists on Friday in Oka on the crucial 2018 World Cup qualifier. The game will be played at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo. FIFA handed out punishment to 8 African nations, including Nigeria, on Tuesday for various offences committed during September 2018 World Cup qualifier. The Nigerian Football Federation were fined just over $30,000 and issued with a warning after fans invaded the pitch when they beat Cameroon 4-0 on the 1st of September. The game kicks off by 5:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Lionel Messi faces the possibility of missing a first World Cup since he made his Argentine debut in 2005. The 5-time Ballon d'Or winner and his Argentina teammates were held to a goalless draw at home to Peru, leaving their Russia 2018 World Cup hopes on the brink of a clash. They remain 6th on the South American qualifying zone out of the World Cup qualifying places. Only the top 4 teams qualify, while the 5th place side will face a playoff against New Zealand. So far, only Brazil has qualified, with Uruguay, Chile and Colombia occupying the 2nd, 3rd and 4th spots respectively. Iniesta has signed a new contract with Barcelona. The contract, which comes a month before his current contract expires, is expected to keep him at the Catalan club for the rest of his career. The Spanish midfielder, who has made 639 appearances for Barca, ranks 2nd on the all-time games played list of the club. He has scored 55 goals for the team. That's all we have on News Now. Thanks for watching. I am Thelma Okoro.